I guess at some point today I want to take the covers off the rest of this since we're having people over. But for now, I just did this one. Good morning and welcome to Thursday. I have had a very wild morning already. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a fun day, but it's going to be a long day. But my morning has already been stressful. Let me start with the part that wasn't stressful. Last night I went to bed early. I went to bed at 9:30. I did sleep. I did sleep through the night. I woke up when Mal got in bed, and I was up for a while when she got in bed. But overall, I got 8.5 hours of sleep, which is like really great. I haven't had that much sleep in a while, and it was there was a chunk in the middle there where I was awake, but my watch said I got 8.5 hours of actual sleep, and I was like, cool, neat. I haven't had that much in a while, so that was good. The other thing was that when I went to bed, Brandon actually came over to help Mal, like, put some stuff away and I had talked about it last night on the vlog. We had already put everything away before, but then we had, like, more stuff to bring over, so it had crowded everything up, and Brandon actually came over last night, and they worked together and got it looking, like, really good again. Things are put away, which is incredible, so thank you, Brandon. I appreciate your help. And there's still more to do, but it made a big difference, especially considering that we're going to have a lot of people over, and it would have been kind of sucky to have them walking around some stuff that wasn't there just a few days ago. So that all went well. Had a good night's rest. This morning, I woke up and we did breakfast stream. Breakfast stream was interesting because there was a new cereal that I had got on clearance at Walmart. When we went to Walmart the other night, Haley spotted, it's called Cinefuego Toast Crunch. So it's Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but it's hot. And it was 75 cents, so I picked it up, and I was like, no idea what this is going to be like, but it was so much hotter than I was expecting it to be. It's also not what I want for breakfast at all. It tasted exactly like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but it also tasted like Red Hots simultaneously, and it just burned your throat for a long time. It was a novel experience, but not one that I would like to have a second time. But we still have a bit of it, so anyone who wants to try it today can. And speaking of try it today, that's what's going on today is later tonight, we're having a little grill out party, which I'm excited for. I haven't grilled anything in a while. I got to make sure we have all the stuff necessary to do it. But Alex and Haley got brats when they were in Wisconsin, so we have some brats. They also brought back Jolly Good, which is a Wisconsin soda, which I've never tried, and then also a bunch of Spotted Cow, which is a Wisconsin beer. And Haley's going to be making Snicker salad, which is Wisconsin dessert. It's not a salad. I mean, depends how loose your definition of salad is, but it's got like Cool Whip and Snicker bars and apples in it. And Haley's going to be making it with almond Snickers, so Mal can have some as well. So the stressful part of my morning was that during breakfast stream, there was some weird stuff happening, like on stream, on the computer. There was some screen tearing that was occurring, and I was like, I don't like that, because it was some weird screen tearing, and it felt like a graphical glitch to me, and it kept going and it kept going and it got worse, and then I started just seeing like just artifacting. So we ended the stream. I transferred the stream over to my Mac to get it up onto the VOD channel, and as far as I know, the stream itself turned out okay. But after the stream was over, I was like, this seems bad. Something's going on. So I started to try some things. I was talking to Chaz because I was like, I don't really know what's going on. But I had I have two main screens whenever I'm using the streaming computer. I have the television and I have a monitor. So the television's typically like where gameplay is if we're playing a game, or if we're doing breakfast stream, that's where I keep both chat and alerts, since we're looking at the camera. And I always have the OBS window on my monitor, not the television. Well, I dragged it from the monitor to the television, and the computer crashed. And I was like, that's not good. So then I restarted the computer, and it was working, and I was like, let me open OBS. Computer crashed. I was like, what is going on? So one of the things is that I have the television hooked up to the GPU. It's connected through HDMI through the GPU. And I had the monitor connected through DisplayPort into the integrated graphics, which, as I've learned in the last 30 minutes, is something that you shouldn't do. I don't know these things. So I was like, okay, well, let me, since it's happening on the TV, the glitches were happening on the television, I was like, let me unplug the television from the GPU. So I did that. And then I was only running on the monitor, which was DisplayPort through the integrated graphics. I opened up OBS. It still crashed. And Chaz was like, try it the other way. And I was like, but why would it matter the other way? If it's happening on the GPU, right, because it's only showing up on the television, which was connected through the GPU, then why would it matter? And he's like, try it. So I unhooked the monitor from the integrated graphics, and I only had the television connected to the GPU, and it opened fine. The computer started, OBS started, and I was like, Chaz, this doesn't make any sense. Like, why would I have artifacting on the display that's running off the GPU if the integrated graphics are the thing that's messed up? He's like, computers are complicated. And I was like, oh my God. So, yeah, that was it. I unplugged the monitor from the integrated graphics, and I plugged it instead into the GPU, which has slots for it, and I had no problems. It should also be mentioned that before I even started this, I did check to make sure the browser was updated, the GPU was updated, that Windows was updated. They were all up to date. And before I troubleshooted this. So then I was like, well, crap, I'll do that. And he's like, by the way, you shouldn't have it plugged into integrated graphics if you have GPU. He's like, that's like typical thing that you're not supposed to do. And I'm like, how would I even know that? Why does that matter? I mean, I am primarily a Mac OS user, right? And the way that Mac OS works and Mac computers work is like, you have ports, you plug them in, that's it. You don't have to think about it. So the idea that like, oh, well, don't use integrated graphics, use the GPU. I'm like, why does it matter? Why can't I just use whatever? But the other thing I learned is that the integrated graphics have never been updated. So I downloaded the Intel updater whatever thing and updated it. Because in my mind, I was like, well, why wouldn't the Windows update just update the graphics drivers? They don't. Why? Don't know. No idea. So now everything is up to date. I'm not using integrated graphics, and knock on wood, things are working again. It was very stressful because there was some moments up there where I was like, oh my God, the GPU is broken. I'm going to have to get another GPU. I don't want to buy another GPU right now, but it does seem like it's working. And it's very stressful because tomorrow is Zelda, and I'm like, I want to play Zelda. In worst case scenario, I could have taken the streaming PC for tabletop and used that because it's a very similar build. Like, it's very, very close. And I could have just put OBS profiles on it and done that, but like, that's still a hassle. So I'm glad that it just seems to be working. But yeah, computers are terrible. That's the lesson here. Computers are terrible. Anyway, other things are happening today. Mal's getting a haircut. I'm excited about that. And, we have a few hours before we do the party, so I'm going to try and get some work done. And obviously I got to get the grill cleaned up and stuff too. But I'm going to have a fun night. It'll be fun to chill with friends and actually get a chance to like use the patio and stuff for the first time since we've had it. Mal and I have obviously been out here using it, but we haven't had friends over to use it, so it'll be fun to just hang out with everybody. You did it.
I got a haircut.
You got the curtain bangs.
Yeah, I really like it. I'm not used to them because they keep going in front of my face.
Yeah.
But I asked her to cut it so I could at least get them behind my ears, and she did. She did really good. I really like it.
It does. It looks good. Also, there's a fun surprise for today. The surprise is Lindsay and Nicole are here. Lindsay and Nicole are here. They are here technically for the hockey.
Yeah, they're not here for us.
They are also here for us, but there's
Happy coincidence.
It's a happy coincidence. The hockey is in round 3.
The Eastern Conference Finals.
Game 1, also round 3.
And that means there's 4 teams left?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So
And they're all Southern teams, and a lot of people are real mad about it.
Really?
Yeah. Hockey isn't for the South.
Oh my God. Well, you are already a fan of the Canes, because like the two of you saw a game together in October.
Yes.
So now you get to see them do like real good.
Hopefully. I also have seen them in Chicago. A little closer to home than here.
That's right. Yeah. So the game starts at like a little around the time that the
7? 8.
yeah.
8.
So
It's 8 o'clock.
Lindsay and Nicole will be hanging out for a little bit, and then there'll also be a party, and there'll be like some overlap, but we'll also be seeing y'all tomorrow. So we'll definitely be seeing you then.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got a chance to see our place.
I'm very excited. Thank you so much for having us over in the middle of all of this.
Yeah.
So unexpectedly.
It's. I mean, again, like we've gotten moved in pretty. It's been 3 weeks today, and things are going pretty well. So like, it's fine. It's fine. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we get to see y'all again because it's been since October, right?
Yep.
So
Too long.
It's a ways.
Okay.
How long has it been since I did a cook on this? I think
You said
7 years.
7 years earlier.
Really?
Yeah. Now it's been a few houses ago. It's been a long time. Hopefully I remember how to do it.
Well, it was pre-2019.
Yeah. I also watched several instructional videos to remind me. So.
Do you know how to do bratwurst specifically?
Yep.
They're very different.
It's the worst.
They're not.
There's like
So these are from RJ's in Hudson, Wisconsin. We got Bavarian bratwurst. We got some cheesy pepper bratwurst. We've got some
Mushroom wild
rice and beer and onion.
I'm excited for mushroom.
Yeah.
I'm excited for cheesy pepper.
I'm gonna try and keep these straight.
They're all good, like because
I mean, these ones physically are a little different, but the
Yeah.
rest of them are all very similar.
Yeah. Because I love my parents, I just get them a very large gift card to this place so they can have the best meats in town. They have a meat vending machine.
They have a what? They have a meat vending machine?
They have a meat vending machine that can be accessed at all hours. It's mostly open in the winter because,
I'm glad you got here.
poison. But anyway, RJ's was famous for having a meat vending machine. But it's actually legitimately good stuff.
That's kind of wild. Things got a lot better the second time around. Like, these are looking good. These are looking really good.
So the guys are outside grilling. Some of them were in here. But Haley's making Snicker salad.
It's a salad. You chop.
You chop and you put it in a bowl with other things? It's a salad.
That's Wisconsin, baby.
Hey, all these are done. Do they taste
They're very
reasonably
good.
good? Hey, that's good because we haven't cooked anything on the grill in like
Yeah,
7 years.
they're very good.
I mean,
Okay.
it's a hot surface. I feel like you could figure it out.
I did. I was like, this
Well,
hot. I put the meat on, and
there
it
was
did
a
it.
period of time when it was cold.
It was cold.
We fixed it.
Yeah,
We made
Correct?
it hot twice.
we made it hot twice.
Oh. So
It's
so
fine.
nice. We
Did you wanna
made it
throw
hot
something?
twice.
What?
Did you want to throw something away?
Oh, there was a reason I had my foot on that, and I don't remember what it was now. I think I've been holding it open for like 3 minutes. I think. Oh, it was. I had a thing. I threw it away already.
You're talking about your twist tie?
Oh my god. No, this goes here. There was an extra one I threw away.
There's a bag.
Oh, look at all of this. This all looks great. What else is in here? I didn't even know.
Beans.
Beans.
And then Haley's making cheese curds.
Don't talk about these. Let me tell you, when I make cheese curds, I make beer batter, and my dad's like, "No, you fool! You must make it with tempura." Beer batter. It turned out real bad. I mean, it's good. It's just
It tastes good.
It's
I
a
had
pile
one.
of cheese, but I strongly disagree with my father.
Oh, goodness.
But also, maybe my dad didn't find like a real tempura batter.
Oh, well.
But
I had
anyway.
one and it was good.
There's more.
Yeah, there's more. So, at some point
God.
tonight, y'all have to have the Snicker salad off. So this one is the
This is
Snicker
my
salad
recipe.
Mal is familiar with. And so, say the ingredients yours.
It is Cool Whip, vanilla pudding, Snickers, and green apples.
Except it's not Snickers.
Yeah,
What's in
she
it?
used Kit Kats because I can't have Snickers.
Because that's what you grew up eating. But however, I pointed out, now there are Snickers that don't have peanuts in it. So anyway, I made the one that was closer to what I had growing up, which is just Cool Whip. So a very light dressing on it, just Cool Whip. With and then we did almond Snickers
Yeah.
and then green apples. And
Is that considered the dressing? Is
Yeah.
the cool one?
And so here's the
Salad.
thing. People were reacting real negative to this morning on breakfast stream, and I just want to point out what this is a caramel apple with Cool Whip on it. And really that's not that bad. But anyway, I brought this. My hope is that I end on top with the more delicious option. But we're gonna fight it out and find out.
Steven, you know, does Cool Whip? Is,
I don't like
is
it.
the Venn diagram okay with? Because I
like
know with the whole.
Can you have it with something, or is it no?
I don't care for it. Mal made me Snicker salad or Kit Kat salad the first year we were married, and it was not.
It was almost the end of the marriage.
It was.
It was real difficult
It
for
was
me.
very difficult.
Like I am not equipped to handle it.
I didn't know if whipped cream and those were like the Venn diagram.
Yeah, it was.
Is that
So
a
you're
circle?
fine with whipped cream, you just don't like Cool Whip.
I'm not fine with whipped cream.
No, yeah, he hates whipped cream.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's the texture.
yeah.
What about ganache?
Ganache is fine.
What about meringue?
It depends on my
What
mood.
about the baked meringue cookies?
Those are great.
I don't think I've ever had a big meringue cookie. I've always just had meringue on like key lime pie.
The hell?
Sorry.
Totally different experience.
Okay, well I'd be willing to try it. I gotta go back out to make sure the grill's not gonna catch the neighborhood on fire. Did you?
There's 3 minutes left on it.
Okay. I don't think I filmed us eating any brats.
You did.
We filmed Brod's having been.
We're gonna have something to talk about in a bit. For now, Brandon is trying.
I'm gonna
So-
take one of
some of
these,
this.
but I'm not gonna eat it yet because I don't want to steal your thunder, Brandon.
What?
We can share thunder.
You can share the
There,
thunder.
there could be a big cell above us.
How you feel about that? You feel good about it?
Is this all we have for more?
No, I bought
No, I feel bad about it.
Is it hotter than you were expecting? Cinnamon
Not the
toast?
heat. It's
There's an open milk.
I overheard you on breakfast stream talking about it's like red hot, like the candy, the cinnamon candy.
Sure.
It's like the cinnamon candy, this spicy, but then also just bad.
Okay. Yeah,
It's not like there are notes of cayenne pepper or anything like that. It's just like
What's the flavor profile of the cinnamon toast crunch?
it's
Yeah,
a little like
What do you think?
leathery.
I had this for breakfast this morning, and
sorry.
Brandon wants to try it.
Yeah, I do. I was excited.
I'm glad someone's excited about it. It's,
So we're gonna try it dry.
I will.
Dry.
Always do it dry before you do it wet.
Did you learn that in school?
Yeah.
Do you want milk?
I mean, it's milk doesn't help. You'd think that it does, right? But it doesn't really. Did you spill the milk?
He did.
I guess.
I only have cereal dry.
I'll cry over spilled milk.
How do you feel about this?
I feel like I've had this before.
When?
What?
This is like a big childhood memory.
This is it's
Oh,
not.
you know what? It's
Fuego
the
Toast
gum.
Crunch?
It's the gum.
It tastes like big red gum. Yeah.
Okay, I had that all the time as a kid.
No.
That's all this is.
Big Red was the gum, man.
But it continues to burn. The gum does not
I
continue
mean,
to burn.
allegedly.
It is spicier than big red gum.
It does stay in your mouth.
You know what happened? I had chronic sinus infections as a child, and they were like, you know what'll clear this up? Real spicy cinnamon gum. So I had that every day for like a year, and that's what this is.
So it just tastes like medicine, really.
Just tastes like childhood.
Incredible.
Is that real? Surely no doctor told you that.
Dude, my ENT was all about that.
She like Big Red.
He was like, we're gonna take out your tonsils, but it's gonna take a while. So until then, this is what you can do instead. For a year? Yeah.
Was he on the payroll of Wrigley's gum?
I don't know. I was like 7.
Jumping ahead a little bit, party is over. Had a good time. Had a good time at our little Wisconsin party. It was enjoyable to have brats. The brats were very good. It was fun to cook on the grill again because it's been maybe 7 years or something since I've done that. It's been a long time. And then also I wanted to report that hockey maybe didn't go great for the Canes because they lost.
But it was the longest game in franchise history. It was into the 4th, at least 4, maybe 5th overtime. And in playoffs, it just keeps doing overtimes until someone scores any goal. And then they lost.
So at bare minimum, Lindsay and Nicole got a lot of
games worth.
value for their money, but the game didn't end until like real late.
Yeah.
So anyway, this vlog is going to end in a weird way. I experienced transient global amnesia tonight. At least that's what I'm going to call it. It was very different than the last 2 times. I've had TGA twice. This will be the 3rd time. And on the other 2 times that I've had it, it has been a very sudden feeling that overcame me, and I suddenly can't remember anything. This is really bad.
You couldn't remember anything recent.
I couldn't, and then I would lost basically the entire day in my memory, and my memory was like a goldfish, where I was only could remember a very small amount of time, less than a minute, and then it would reset. This was different. This was very different. How it happened, how it started, was that we had been talking about soda in the kitchen when everyone was there. We had been talking about soda, and I had apparently remarked to you, Mal, about the Jolly Good soda, which was there, the soda from Wisconsin. I had apparently remarked about it being similar to a different soda.
Yes. We had a discussion about that.
And then after that, I had went over to where Dan was.
Yeah, and you were talking about the soda, and you said the exact same thing. And Dan was like, poor Dan was like, you just said that.
Yeah, Dan thought I was messing with him.
Yeah.
And I had no recollection of saying it. And as soon as Dan said that and was like, you just said that, that feeling of oh God, just comes over you, because it's something that apparently just happened that I had just been talking about, and I had no recollection of saying it. So then there's just this, it's very hard to describe it. It's like a tunnel vision. It's like a literal tunnel vision where you feel the world kind of closing in, and very quickly you're mentally grasping for traction. You're quick, what I was doing in the moment was very quickly trying to recap my day and try and find some semblance of stability mentally of what was I doing 15 minutes ago? What was I doing an hour ago? What was I doing 2 hours ago? What did I do this morning? Really quickly, trying to run through things and realizing that a lot of things were fuzzy, and being okay, I need to find something. So then it's okay, well, I remember I gave Lindsay and Nicole a house tour. Okay, so I did that. It's Thursday. I did breakfast stream this morning. Do I remember breakfast stream? Yeah, okay, I remember breakfast stream. And all this was going on, and it was a weird feeling, but I kind of felt like I had more or less broken out of it. It was the only experience that I had had in this whole thing of oh, this was weird. But then I was okay, that's not TGA. It's just a weird thing. So then Lindsay and Nicole went off to their hockey game, and I went outside to like start the grilling process. And I did the grilling process, and I didn't have any issues with what was going on. It is worth noting that I had been stressed because I haven't grilled anything in like maybe like 7 years. It's been a long time. And right before it happened, right before I did the grilling, I had to like look up two like quick tutorial videos to be like, it's been so long, I don't even remember like what the process is. So I was a little stressed about it, because like the crux of the dinner is on me to prepare. And I was like, okay. So I went out there and I did everything. And I thought that it was fine. I thought I had done fine. And then I don't remember exactly the specifics, but at some point I came inside and Alex or Brandon or someone had made a comment about like, hey, I think you are experiencing some amnesia. And it was a very alarming thing to hear because I was like, what are you talking about? And like, I had a vague memory of like the experience that I had earlier with Dan of like of that like tunnel vision feeling of like, what? But like, otherwise I didn't know what they were talking about. And they, Alex and Brandon had been outside with me whenever I was cooking the brats. And they said that I had more or less like repeated the same information just like over and over. And I was like, oh. So like I had apparently told them over and over that it had been a long time since I had grilled. And they had asked me some other questions, and apparently I gave repeated answers or whatever. And like I didn't know it was happening, So like it was a different experience whenever I've had TGA with Mal, because like when that's happened, you have told me like this is a thing that's happening. Because they did not tell me that. I didn't have any grounding for like, oh, things are wrong, until I got inside after cooking all of the brats and they were like, hey, this happened. And I was like, what? And the thing that was interesting is that even after it happened, the cooking process was a long time. It was probably, from the first time that I had forgot Dan's comment to the end of the cooking was like an hour and a half, which is longer than any TGA episode I've ever had. And then I came inside and like I ate, and I had some people asking me some questions, and I finished my food, and some folks were out on the patio and some folks were inside, and I was inside still talking. And then eventually I went outside and talked to everyone. I was talking about the experience, but like even throughout all of that, things were just a little fuzzy, just a little weird, just a little off. And now at the end of the evening, trying to think back to it, it's all very, very hazy. And it's interesting because like I know what the first two times that I had TGA felt like. And this one was like, it had some similarities, but it was different because this one went on for way longer, because I've never had it last any longer than like 30 minutes. And then in addition to that, the intensity of it, the magnitude of it was less. So it was kind of strange because...
From an outsider perspective, I agree with that.
Really?
Yeah. It wasn't quite the same, but it was definitely something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird. It was less traumatic this time. And there was a point at which I was just starting the cooking on the grill that I knew something was a little off, because I had sent Mao a text. And I had led the text with something about the grill.
Yeah.
And then after that, I had written something that was like, I'm feeling just a little off. I don't think it's TGA, but might be TGA adjacent or something. And I'd sent Mal all this, and it came across on her watch. So the first message that she got was something about the grill. So she saw that and was like, Alex, will you go help Steven with the grill? So then Mal never even saw my messages until the end of the night. So you actually didn't even know anything was wrong until...
I had some like light suspicions because I don't know. Alex came in to get something for the grill, like a pan to put the done brats on,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Don't worry, he's someone is out there with him, but he's okay." And I was like, "What's going on?" And he was like, "He having some memory stuff." And I was like, "Oh." And then at some point, Brandon asked me what you had for lunch, like trying to quiz me, I guess to get the answer to see what you would say.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was... It's just a weird... It's weird. The whole brain stuff is real weird. It's been 17 months, 16 or 17 months since the last time I had it was January 2022. It's been a while. But it did happen more quickly than between 1 and 2. 1 and 2 were 2 years apart, 24 months. This one was sooner.
But it was also different.
But it was different. This one was very different. The intensity was less, and it was more drawn out and kind of weird. And there was some ups and some downs. There was a part there. I remember there was a part where we were talking about it a little bit, but then also my memory was still a little weird. So it went on longer. It's weird stuff. Anyway, if someone's just hearing about this for the first time, they're like, "What? What's going on?" There's a vlog from last year. I don't know the specific vlog. I'll try and find it and put it in the end screen. But it's me recounting my first and second times. I never talked about the first time until the second time happened, but I talk about the first and second times that it occurred, and kind of gives a full overview of it. It's not anything that is bad. It doesn't mean anything bad for my brain. I've been to a neurologist about it. It's just a weird thing that can happen. It is extremely rare to even happen to you. It's basically unheard of to happen twice. At least that's what the medical field says. But of course, there's like a group of people that have experienced it more than twice. And I am now in that category. I have now experienced it 3 times. And it is interesting because the first 2 were very similar, and this one's pretty different. I mean, it's got enough of the same groundwork that I'm like, yeah, I think that this was transient global amnesia. But how it played out was real different than the first 2. So, yeah, it's so interesting, because like, it doesn't affect certain faculties. Like, I grilled all the food. I prepared all the food tonight, and I just apparently had conversations with Alex and Brandon throughout the entire experience that were indicative of a weird problem. The thing that sucks, and it's not like a big deal, but the thing that sucks is that when the last time it happened, I told Mao, I was like, well, the next time it happens, try and get it on video. But Alex...
outside.
But Mal was not outside, and Mal wasn't even aware of a problem until much later in the evening. And then, Alex and Brandon aren't going to like just whip out a camera and like film me. And I didn't know that there was a problem, I had felt a little weird when Dan made that comment earlier, but I feel like I felt like I had dodged it. There's been times over the last 2 years, where I could feel that like weird tunneling effect of like, oh, is this TGA coming on? And then I felt like I dodged it because I like grounded myself in reality, and I was like, oh, things are fine. And then I never had it. But tonight was different. Tonight was like that thing happened, and then there was apparently more of it that I wasn't even aware of. So it's fine. I'm surrounded by people that love and care about me. And, it was mostly a concern of like, hey, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm okay. It just sucks to not, it is mostly an inconvenience. It's like, it just sucks to like have parts of your memory just not there. So, yeah. I hope that this is not indicative of an increase in frequency, but they're still more than a year apart, and
It was milder.
it was milder. It was longer,
Yeah, but you
But it
knew
was-
what had happened in the day.
but it was milder. Yeah, and that's the big thing, is that the first 2 times, I basically lost the memory of that day, and I can't ever recall it. But today is like, no, I still have a pretty firm understanding of what occurred today. So it's a little different than the first 2. Brains are weird, man. Okay, I'm going to bed. More fun stuff tomorrow, though. We're going to have some brunch with Lindsay and Nicole before they head out. Thanks for watching. Let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?